On week 9 of the Weslaco High School football season, we are celebrating the accomplishments of the Weslaco Panther Corps for bringing home a Division I. And also here we have the Lady Panthers softball team, the 2024 state softball champions. Tonight will be a very special moment because it'll be the ring ceremony. Oh yeah, we also have a football game that's taking place tonight. The PSJA Bears taking on the Weslaco Panthers right here at Bobby Lackey Stadium. Mike Gonzalez, how you doing?
Doing great, Carlos. I mean, this is a battle of two teams that won district championships last year. We all know the Panthers in 32-6A. Remarkable season last year, went 10-0, won a playoff game. PSJA did it in 31-6A. And when the schedule was released, Carlos, and when they did the new realignment, and I saw that these two teams were playing October 25th, I had this game penciled in with my pen. I circled it 2 or 3 times because I couldn't wait for it, and now it's here. Here we go.
Yeah, I think you told me that you circled it in red ink because you knew it was going to be a big game. It's also Parents' Night for the Weslaco Panthers and the cheerleaders. So the PA, yeah, it's going to be going on tonight as we do our show here. All right, so PSJ and Weslaco in a huge 31-6A matchup. The teams are tied atop of the district right now, identical records as you will see right now, because 5-2 and 2-0 in district play, playing some of their best football of the season. They're also district champions from a year ago, are the Weslaco Panthers. The Bears also 5-2, 2-0 in district play. They are a playoff team from a year ago, and they are playing the type of football we probably haven't seen since the 80s and the 90s, with a passing attack that has already accumulated more than 2,000 yards. That's right, it's only through 8 games and already 2,000 yards. The numbers don't lie. Coach Bears, Lupe Rodriguez, coach, he was a coach back in 1987 for the Mission Eagles. He passed for over 4,000 yards, and he has brought a system, Mike Gonzalez, to the PSJA Bears where they like to pass the ball.
Absolutely, Carlos. I remember watching Lupe as a young kid back in the 80s, 1987 team. Remarkable career there, and he's brought that air assault here at PSJA. I mean, if the Mission Eagles, Carlos, they're probably the original team, the original program to bring that kind of attack, and now it's at PSJA, and they are loaded with weapons, starting with Miles Lopez, 6'3", 190 pounds, as you mentioned, over 2,000 yards, having an outstanding year, can do it all, can move in the pocket, has a great arm, and boy, Carlos, he has a quick release as well, and if he has a lot of time, Carlos, he will do a lot of damage, and he has weapons, Carlos. He has a trio of receivers, starting with number 2, Ryan Vallejo. He's already caught a bunch of passes this year, over 1,000 yards already. In one game, Carlos, he actually caught 21 passes against Los Fresnos, and he has 2 other weapons. Number 1, Emiliano Fraga, and number 4, Caleb Salas. They are awesome complementary receivers, Carlos. This offense plays up-tempo. They like to move the ball. They like to get a lot of first downs. They like to wear down the defense. They score a lot of points, and they are very pass-happy.
Oh, absolutely. But so are the Weslaco Panthers.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why it's going to be a pretty evenly matched up game tonight. And let's see some of these playmakers for the Weslaco Panthers, because they got some players who can play. Frankie Trevino, the first-year quarterback, made the transition from wide receiver to quarterback. And now, what I like about him, Mike, is he uses all his different receivers. He's not just locked into just one guy, spreads the ball around, and yes, he could also run with the football. In fact, he's actually the leading passer and the leading rusher on the football team. Then you got Chris Luna. Just call him the playmaker, because all he does is, well, he scores touchdowns and a little bit more, whether it's receiving the ball, rushing with the football, special teams, or even playing on defense. Luna just makes things happen. Even got an interception right here against Laredo United. And just a junior, by the way. Leading the running backs is going to be David Garcia. What a nice addition for Coach Roy Stroman to the running game. He played JV last year as a sophomore, and he runs hard, fights for every single yard. He has the speed, he has the quickness to make you miss, and he too, Mike Gonzalez, just a junior. Let's take a look at the stats for these guys so far through week 8 of the season. Frankie Trevino, over 1,600 yards passing, 20 touchdowns. Then there you go, Chris Luna, over 600 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns for the young man. And then David Garcia, 540 yards rushing, and he has 7 touchdowns. Those are your playmakers.
All 3 have improved tremendously, Carlos, since the beginning of the season. And now with Joseph Leal back in the lineup, they are that much more explosive. And they're off their best game of the season, where they racked up 500 yards, 55 points. And Frankie, 5 touchdowns overall, 4 rushing, 1 receiving. But what has impressed me most, Carlos, is the fact that he's been taking care of the football. In his first 38 attempts of the season, 5 interceptions. The last 63, only 1 pick. But to me, Carlos, the key is if they can keep the ball away from the PSJA offense. I went back and I saw video on how PSJA lost their 2 games. Well, what happened was that PSJA North and Brownsville Veterans racked up over 300 yards rushing. And they took care of the football. They moved the chains. And if the Panthers can do that tonight, we saw what Frankie can do. We can see what Garcia can do. They'll have an excellent chance to win this game.
So you're saying control the clock, keep the offense off the field because they are with a lot of firepower.
Absolutely. I think that's the key. You want to keep their offense off the field.
All right, we'll see what happens. But can we give some love to the kicking game? We don't talk a lot about kicking, but watch what the Weslaco Panthers have done just this season, because they have this little pooch kick that they've been doing all season long. It's like a pitching wedge on a par 3. Watch the way it bounces right back to the receiving team or to the kicking team. And they've done this 3 times, and they've created a turnover, giving the Weslaco Panthers a short field to work with, and it's really giving their opponents one more thing to plan for when they're playing against the Panthers.
They call it the spinner. That's what they call it. Apparently a player nicknamed that during practice, and it kind of stuck with them. And they've dedicated 20 minutes per week, Carlos, working on that specifically, and it's really paid off, Carlos. As you can see, in a play like that, it's changed the momentum in some of the games, and you know, it's really paid off. And I know Coach Stroman is really big on special teams, and they've done a great job. And yes, Frankie has turned that kick into an art.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm sure we're going to see it again tonight. Well, part of the Friday night experience, of course, is the band. And the Weslaco PC has done just a fabulous job. They were featured last week at San Benito at Pigskin, and guess what? They received another Division I, something like 19 years in a row that the Weslaco Panthers Corps has received a Division I rating, and they are advancing to area competition. They are a superb, talented group with a huge following and a great booster club. Have you seen all the signs in front of Weslaco High School supporting WPC? Well, right now, we would like to meet the Weslaco Panther Corps drum majors. Jada Riel is here for an interview. Jada, take it away.
And Claudia Pireles.
Now I have some majors alongside me. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Kristen, I'm a senior, and I'm an assistant drum major.
Good afternoon, my name is Alexi Tirado. I'm the head drum major, and I'm also a senior.
My name is Sofia Hernandez. I'm a junior, and I'm an assistant drum major.
So we understand that you guys got Division I, but to those people who do not know what that means, what does that mean?
So the Division I is the highest rating you could possibly get at the pigskin contest, and our band has managed to get that countless years in a row because we put in hard work since the beginning of July.
And whenever you exited the field following your performance, did you know that in fact you guys did get a 1?
We knew because we knew that our band had put a very powerful performance and that all their hard work and dedication was left on the field, and that they just did a very well job.
Exactly. Speaking of hard work and dedication, your summer was committed solely to this. So how does it feel earning this Division I?
It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time, but we really do enjoy it, all those hours that we put in.
Well, thank you guys. Back to you, Carlos.
All right, thank you very much, Jada, and we'll be going back to her in a little bit because we have the softball players who are here. They're going to be part of a ring ceremony because they're getting their rings tonight, so we'll talk to the softball players in a little bit. But right now, we're going to take it upstairs because all Panther football games will be on the Weslaco ISD YouTube channel, and Scott Harrison and Fred Alfalo, you guys got the call tonight.
Well, it's a big night. Already you guys have talked about a lot of the happenings in football. Fred, something else special tonight.
Yeah, I think for me that there's 2 nights that are very important. I'll start with number 2. Usually for me, the dollar item night at the concession stand is one of my favorites. But the top one happens tonight. It's the Walk of Champions down there where the parents, especially the dads,
right,
walk on the field, coming up on the inflatable. They're going to walk with their players. It's really a memory for the parents, for the dads, and the players. So it should be a fun night tonight.
Well, of course, earlier this year, you know, the Bears are a tough team here tonight.
Yes, they are.
But earlier this year, I went up to Houston, and the Texans defeated the Chicago Bears, and they wore special uniforms for that game.
I remember that.
So I wanted to try to maybe give some special luck to our Weslaco Panthers, and I brought a replica of the jersey worn by the Houston team the day they beat the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
So maybe this will be good luck today for the Panthers, and it's always good for covering Fred's face.
That's a big shirt.
Back to you guys.
Family.
All right, thank you very much, Scott and Fred. Kickoff tonight is at 7:30. We look forward to watching the game. Well, it's now time to meet one of the members of the Weslaco Panthers. We call the segment 5 Questions.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Gonzalez. I play cornerback / receiver for the Weslaco Panthers, and this is my 5 question segment. Let's go. One of my favorite food is wings. I like Wingstop, Buffalo Wild Wings, any type of wings. And my favorite is drums for sure. I don't really watch that much TV, but if I would have to pick a show, I'd probably pick Suits on Netflix. Yeah, I think it's cool. Ford F-250 King Ranch. I think it's a very luxurious truck. It's also fast, has a lot of power in it, and overall it's just a good daily driver. Honestly, I listen to all types of music. I listen to rap, country, George Strait. I like old country. Yeah, I also like Lil Baby, Young Boy. My favorite athlete, I'd probably have to say Tiger Woods. Just because of what he's gone through, all the adversity he's faced, and still being able to win the 2019 Masters, I think that's a pretty awesome story.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan Gonzalez, for taking part in 5 questions. Well, Mike, now we can see, right? Because the sun's finally going down. The sun is starting to go down, starting to get a little bit cooler as well. Not that cool, but a little bit better. Let's check out the weather for tonight. It's going to be decent. It's not going to be in the hundreds. It's going to be about 80 degrees. It's going to feel like 78 degrees. So it's going to be nice for it's October 25th. We don't have a cold front or anything like that, Mike Gonzalez, but at least it's going to be decent tonight. You might want to wear a hoodie or maybe a sweater tonight if it's too cold for you for that. All right, well, it's only been 5 months since the Weslaco Lady Panthers won a state championship in dramatic fashion, and tonight they are going to be receiving their championship rings in what should be a very special championship ceremony for the Weslaco Lady Panthers. It's going to be very, very good. The champs are back in town. Some of them traveled many, many distances, a long distance. They drove here. Some of them flew here, but they are here for tonight's ring ceremony. For more on that, let's go back to Jada.
Thank you, Carlos. So alongside me, as Carlos just mentioned, we have 2 out-of-towners who are playing collegiately. Let's introduce them.
My name is Mia Rodriguez.
I'm Elizabeth Craig.
And how has been transitioning from high school softball to now college softball?
It's been different, a little challenging, but being with this team last season, it kind of helped me realize that there's a lot of good competition out there. And so, like I said, it was a little challenging, but I feel like I'm getting the groove of it right now.
Exactly. Sometimes that's the learning process of everything, excuse me. But how about you, Craig? How has your experience been in this college level?
I think high school has definitely helped me, practicing in the hot days, because in JUCO, at least, I don't really have that off season, but being here definitely helped me with my mental toughness. So it's definitely been difficult, but at the same time, it's been quite easy.
That's great to hear that the Panther program has been successful in help mending and shaping these collegiate athletes. Back to you, Carlos.
All right, thank you very much, Jada, and that'll wrap it up for the Knapp Medical Center pregame show. Thank you very much, the Weslaco Lady Panthers State Softball Champions 2024, for being on this show. The Knapp Medical Center pregame show. Mike Gonzalez, going to be a pretty good game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very good game. 2 very good programs, 2 very good coaching staffs, and a special night. Looking forward to the halftime show. It's going to be a fun night.
Absolutely. For Mike Gonzalez, I'm Carlos Robledo. We will see you after the game.